You should never add acid before you cook your beans. Actually, there may be one exception to that rule. Citric acid may help soften your beans. Many bean guides, cooking classes, and food science articles tell you not to add any acid while you're cooking your beans until they soften. That means no tomatoes, no vinegar, no wine until your beans are cooked. Acid can slow down the process that allows the structure of the beans to soften, and I learned this the hard way. Many years ago, I was making my very first batch of homemade baked beans from scratch. And I took my soaked dried beans, and one of the ingredients was tomato paste, and I added it early on, and I waited and I waited and I waited, and those beans never did get soft. So we did not get to eat that batch, sadly. So I learned you never add acid before the beans get soft. So when I first read that lemon juice might help my beans soften, I thought, no, absolutely not. That doesn't seem right. But then I thought, maybe it can. Citric acid may be different. And I thought the perfect application for that would be if we tried to soften some chickpeas for hummus, because hummus, when you're cooking beans for hummus, you want them really, really soft and creamy. And I'm hoping that that's what this lemon juice is gonna do. I'm starting with 2 equal batches of dried chickpeas from the same bag. Each container has a ½ pound of dried chickpeas. First, I'm rinsing the chickpeas to remove any dust or debris. Now I'm covering each batch with fresh water. The control batch gets plain water, and the second batch gets the juice from 1 lemon added. Both batches are going into the refrigerator to soak for about 12 hours. While they soak, let's look at why citric acid might behave differently from other acids. How can citric acid help beans soften? Inside the bean, pectin helps hold the cells together. Calcium, and to a lesser extent magnesium, can act like tiny bridges between the pectin molecules. Those mineral bridges help the bean maintain its firm structure. But citric acid can bind to those minerals through a process called chelation. That sounds complicated, but it simply means that the citrate can grab onto minerals, especially calcium. By pulling some of that calcium away from the pectin, the citrate may weaken those mineral bridges. With fewer bridges holding everything together, the bean's structure may break down more easily during cooking. Our chickpeas are finished soaking. We're going to go ahead and drain them, rinse them thoroughly, put them in a pot, and cover them with about 4 inches of water. I'm going to let these chickpeas come to a boil. I'll skim off any foam as needed, and I'm going to reduce them to a simmer and cover them. These chickpeas have been cooking for about 55 minutes. I decided that with this experiment, I would cook both pots of chickpeas till at least one of them was creamy enough for hummus, and then compare both batches. This is the batch that had lemon juice in the brine. They looked ready for hummus. This other one is our control that was soaked in plain water. Let's take one more close-up look in the pot. I noticed split skins in the lemon juice batch and intact chickpeas in the water batch. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. The water-cooked chickpeas have intact skins and they're holding their shape. The lemon water chickpeas have started to break down and their skins are falling off. I want to see how easily the chickpeas mash. The water-soaked chickpea is firm. It requires some pressure to mash. The lemon-soaked chickpeas just melt right under my finger with very little effort. So these are the chickpeas that were soaked in water prior to cooking. I'm going to go ahead and see how they taste. What I'm focusing on for this is the texture. I do notice they held their shape well, but what I'm looking for is that ultra creamy texture that's going to make a good hummus. Okay, so they're they're cooked, but they're on the firmer side. They're a little grainy. I did cook them the same amount of time as the other chickpeas that were soaked with the lemon juice in the water. If I were just cooking these and just making these for hummus and they tasted like this, I probably would have cooked them just a little bit longer to see if that would soften them up some. I think that these chickpeas right here would be really excellent in a bean salad, or we could, you know, toss them in some seasonings and put them in the air fryer and make some crispy chickpeas with them. But I don't think this is the best for hummus. So this batch right here, these are the chickpeas that we soaked in the water with the lemon juice added. And I did cook these the same exact amount of time that I cooked the water soaked ones. So what I'm focusing on when I'm going to go taste these is the texture, because I'm looking for that really creamy texture that will make my hummus so delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a taste. They just disintegrate in my mouth. They just melt. There's no grittiness or graininess. I think they're going to blend beautifully, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how our hummus tastes with these chickpeas. Well, it looks like we have everything we need to make hummus. Creamy and delicious. I was so excited that the lemon juice did actually soften my beans, but the choice of acid matters. Citric acid will work. Other acids, tomato juice, vinegar, wine, they won't soften your beans. But lemon juice, give it a try sometime and see if it makes your hummus creamier. Let me know in the comments if you've ever used lemon juice to soften your beans. Also, join me next time where we're going to talk about the Bean Club. Follow for more Bean Scene.